Welcome back to the Movie Draft House. I'm your host, Mark, joined by co-host Jeff.
Marky Mark. What up, man? How you doing?
Hey, it's another beautiful day in the House of Draft.
Yep, it's a hot-ass day in the House of Draft as well. Bullshit.
It's so
It's
hot.
like 100 degrees yesterday.
It was ridiculous. I went to the beach, though.
It was horrible. Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah, it was... see, when we get to the month of May here in Florida, all the way until like September,
Yeah.
it's like nonstop 95 degrees
Oh,
days.
my God. It's awful.
Nonstop. It is. It's terrible. I don't know why anybody chooses to live in Florida, but
I was born and raised here. It is still home to me, but this time
Sure.
of year just fucking kicks my
it's
nuts
like
in.
you go outside and you instantly are sweating. Like instant. Like you go outside and
Immediate regret.
boom. Yeah, it sucks. Anyways, which doesn't suck is the
Movie Draft House now on IMDb. You can go ahead and check out our page there where we have no information whatsoever, but we just discovered this. I should say Mark discovered it.
I did. I discovered that the podcast has its own IMDb site, and I don't know how that happened because I didn't set it up. You didn't set it up.
I didn't do it.
But you can find all of our episodes, or at least the listing of the episodes on IMDb. To search the Movie Draft House, and give us a 10-star review.
Yeah, 10 stars. Fuck 5 stars.
10
stars.
Anyways, so the theme this year is, and we're in the middle of the year, so forgive us, but we are drafting films that have some connection to the previous week's film. And
Yes.
so last week,
1 degree of separation.
Jeff chose the film Judge Dredd, starring Sylvester
didn't I?
Stallone. And you did. And then so this week, I selected also a film starring Sylvester Stallone. It's from 1997. It runs for an hour and 45 minutes, rated R, directed by James Mangold. We watched Copland.
Oh, and it features every actor known to man.
Correct.
Ray Liotta. Every male actor known to man, I should say. Ray Liotta. Not Robert Downey Jr. Help me out. Robert De
Niro. Yep. Harvey
Ray
Keitel.
Liotta, I think I said Harvey Keitel, Robert Patrick, Michael Rappaport.
Yep. Noah Emmerich. There's some other guys in here. Frank Vincent.
Guys who are in a lot of mob movies. Like if I wanted to make us watch a mob movie next week, I'd have no problem. I'm spoiled for choice when it comes to mob movies, and it wouldn't be next week anyway. But keep listening to figure out why I won't be picking a mob movie next week.
So Jeff, what is your favorite James Mangold film?
Copland. I mean, I think I looked through it. Let me look through his IMDb, but I remember I was like, you had mentioned, man, you should look at his movies. I'm like, okay. And I looked through, I'm like, no, Logan. Fucking Logan.
Yeah. I mean,
Logan's
he's got a lot of good ones. Walk the Line, 310 to Yuma.
He was executive producer on that. He didn't actually direct it.
The which one?
310 to Yuma is really good. So I take it back. Copland's not my favorite. Logan is.
Ford v Ferrari. Complete
Dial of
Unknown.
Destiny. Pretty decent Indiana Jones film.
Okay.
I'm comparing it. So I'm someone who's seen every Indiana Jones film as a part of chronologically.
Yeah.
And after watching Indiana Jones 4, going to Dial of Destiny was a breath of fresh air.
Well, sure. It's because 4 was just a complete hot mess. Right. It would have been very hard for an Indiana Jones film to be worse than 4.
Yeah. I've seen Identity a number of times, but I never remember anything about it, which is another Mangold film. It's
How about
mystery.
Night and Day?
I've never seen that one.
With Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz. That's pretty good.
It looks like it's be fun, but I haven't. No.
Yeah.
And definitely
So
not going to see
anyways,
Ford versus Ferrari. I am not a car guy, and watching a movie about cars, unless it's like Fast and the Furious where it's stupid, I'm not going to watch it. Watching an accurate movie about cars just seems like the worst idea.
yeah. So, Jeff, had you seen Copland before?
This is my third viewing, I think. At least my third viewing, because I am a Stallone fan. Anyone who's listened to this podcast will not be surprised that Stallone is a 90s action guy, and 90s action films are my shit. And so I had seen Copland many years ago because I was like, oh, hell yeah, Stallone. And I think my first viewing, I was pretty disappointed because I was like, it's not an action movie. It's a drama. It's a thriller. I would say it's a drama.
Yeah.
And Stallone doesn't do a lot of ass kicking, and he's really subdued. So the first time I watched it, I was like kind of disappointed because I just went in with different expectations. The second time I watched it, I completely forgot I had seen it before and had pretty much the same reaction. So going into this one, I remembered that it isn't an action film and that it's a bit slower. And so I was much more prepared to enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, I will say, this is probably I think my second viewing. I saw this a long time ago, maybe, late 90s. When did this come out?
97.
97. So probably around then, I had seen it maybe on VHS or DVD or whatever. I really didn't remember a whole lot about it. Honestly, I didn't remember hardly any. I knew the kind of the plot that Stallone is this sheriff who's trying to, bring down these corrupt other cops. But on this viewing, I am probably in the boat that you found yourself in the first two times you saw it. I think Stallone is completely wasted here. In this subdued, role where he's kind of a dunce.
He's a bit of a pushover, yeah.
Yeah, and I just didn't.
He's a huge pushover.
Yeah, and I just didn't. I didn't understand the casting choice, I guess, of Stallone. Other than he's a huge star in the '90s, and but so is Robert De Niro and Ray Liotta.
Yep.
And Harvey Keitel, I just didn't understand having Stallone play this subdued, kind of pushovery, cop down on his luck, where, you could probably have taken a whole handful of other actors that probably would have been better in that role than Stallone, and it's because seeing Stallone as this pushover is, especially in the late 90s here, is kind of like, what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
He's an action guy, and
right.
so if you watch this movie for the first time and you aren't expecting Stallone to really do absolutely nothing for 98% of the movie,
do a lot of standing around and playing pinball.
I just don't understand the casting choice here. Now, and the same could go for Robert De Niro, right? He's in the movie all of maybe 10 minutes. This is really Harvey Keitel's and Ray Liotta's film. Stallone is on camera a lot.
Stallone is in the movie a lot.
Yeah.
But
Ray Liotta, I thought is the best here. Acting wise,
I love Ray Liotta. Oh.
I do too, and because he gets a lot. He chews every bit of scenes that he's in. Harvey Keitel's really good. I did like what's his face, Michael Rappaport here.
I love Michael Rappaport movies.
Yeah,
I like him as an actor.
Yeah. I do too. Robert Patrick's okay. He's not in the film a ton, but
yeah, he's not in the movie a ton. but that mustache, and he just feels like a slimy cop.
Yeah, he
Right?
does.
Like Ray Liotta, not Ray Liotta, but Harvey Keitel does kind of have that mob boss energy, but Robert Patrick is the slimy, entitled cop. Like, he is such a prick. And I think he's fantastic in the role.
Yeah. Gene Garofalo.
Not in the movie.
Yeah,
She's
yes,
in,
she
like,
is.
2 scenes.
Oh, right.
No, I know she's in the movie, but
right,
she's
but
got,
she's
like,
not
2 scenes.
featured. Right.
Right.
There's a lot of questionable decisions in the casting and the direction the story goes. The plot is what it is. Michael Rappaport kills 2 dudes. Maybe justifiably, but he's also drunk when he does it.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to talk about, because obviously this is the police corner now we're going to move into.
Yeah,
And it was
sure.
In a movie called Copland, the police corner was inevitable. I feel like I don't feel like what he did was justified, because yes, they did point what looked to be a gun at him, and at that point he would be justified in defending himself.
Yeah.
Right. I got no problem with that. But he puts the brakes on and they drive off.
Yeah.
And then he shoots at them while they're driving off. And then, I feel like he goes a few steps too far into murder as opposed to self-defense.
Well, there is case law, Supreme Court case law. It's called Graham v. Connor. That says that you cannot shoot a fleeing felon unless you have reason to believe that that fleeing felon is going to do harm to somebody else.
Right.
And so, yes, at the police corner, the shooting is not justifiable. However, when they point the gun at him,
right,
that is the point where he can then try to take action.
Right. And even though it doesn't turn out to be a gun, the passenger points it like a gun. He's specifically mimicking it to be a gun. So at that point, I would feel he'd be justified in defending himself.
Right. Now, there's also case law that says that a jury has to judge a law enforcement officer on the moment he takes action, not the steps leading up to it. And so, if this was real and a cop if somebody was to point what looked like a gun, and this happens a lot, points what looks like a gun mimicking the action of a gun, and a police officer returns fire or defends himself by shooting said person, a grand jury would then take all that into consideration and be like, oh, was that a justifiable action? And in most cases, yes, it is. So Michael Rappaport he's drunk in the moment. The character, he's drunk in the moment. He sees these guys and he picks up his revolver or whatever off of the seat of the car, and does it. And then afterwards, all the police show up, and Harvey Keitel
the first thing they do is try to plant the gun.
Right.
Robert Patrick tries to plant the gun, and the paramedic's like, fuck that. Like, I dug that moment where the paramedic was like, brave, called him out, like, what the fuck are you doing? No, you don't get to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was going to sell him out. Like, one of the things that this movie's themes is that peer pressure, right? You're that pressure from your peers to conform. You protect your brothers no matter what, even if they're doing the wrong thing. Like, that is the pressure.
And a lot of, 90s, a lot of, and I don't know if this is so much commentary on anything that happened in the early 90s, in the 80s, but there was this stigma about police, that there was this blue wall of silence, or where the police protected their own regardless of if it was right or wrong. And I don't know if James Mangold, because he wrote this movie as well, I don't know if this is commentary on anything, because Rodney King was in the early 90s. And there's so I imagine there's probably some commentary here on the state of policing in America at the time, but a lot of what goes on throughout the movie is the police trying to protect their own. It even goes so far as like
they take out their own to protect.
Right.
What it ends up really being is Harvey Keitel protecting himself.
Yeah, right.
Right, and he expects everyone to protect him, and if you don't, you're expendable. He isn't necessarily protecting all his brothers in blue. He is protecting himself and the corruption that he is brought into the system, to the point where he's killed 2 other police officers.
Yeah, he is the mob boss within the NYPD.
Yeah.
And I thought that was an interesting dynamic of showcasing, hey, this is a mob movie, but it's a mob movie masked as a police procedural film. And I like, in that aspect, I enjoyed, the dilemma that Stallone, as a flawed character himself, is, he goes about it. I appreciated how the story kind of unfolds, regardless of the problems I have with the casting and, the main character of this film not really having a whole lot to do. But I did enjoy how it was written.
Yeah. And I'll bounce back to the Stallone issue you have. You've seen Rocky, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know how you feel about Rocky. I love Rocky. It's a great movie. But he is a subdued character in that, right? He doesn't emote a lot. He is very internalizing, like watching him flirt with Adrian. It's like kind of awkward in how he does it. And I like those performances out of him. And I kind of like this performance of him kind of being this pushover, this quiet guy with this injury to his ear, and, also kind of corrupt in himself, not to the level of Harvey Keitel and the group that kind of surrounds him, but certainly letting guys pass that are other, if you pull over a police officer, they should be ticketed just as anyone else, you know what I mean, if they're off duty or whatever. And then but also, like, he wanted quarters, so he just used his key to open up the parking meter to get quarters out, and so little corruptions,
Yeah. And that he drives drunk in the police car, gets in a wreck.
That is a big problem.
I just, and I do, he is he's a very flawed character, but it's also, he's a small town sheriff.
Right.
And it's, I guess my problem, and I don't mind a subdued Stallone performance, because you're right, he has done it before. He's capable of doing it. I think he does probably a capable job here as in this role. When you cast somebody like Stallone as a cop, in a film with all these other big heavy hitters, I guess my expectation was that, Stallone was going to be this, hey, I'm going to go get him. I'm going to go get him guy.
Yeah.
And he's really not that guy until the last 10 minutes of the film. And I think, one, my own expectations, and two, the film suffers from it because if you haven't seen this movie, you're going to go into it thinking Stallone's a badass in this film. It's because he plays a badass in just about every other movie he's done, and I just think the film sets it up for kind of failure in that way, is because I don't think how anybody could be, unless they know about the movie. I don't think they could go into the film with any other type of expectation.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly, that's how I entered it. Other than this most recent viewing, was this is going to be badass, and then I preconceptions aside, this is a good movie. Like, I still really like it. I like the story. I like the characters. I think they're very intriguing. I think Ray Liotta is a really interesting character. Like I think you said, like, he's the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
And I like the corrupt cops and how sleazy they are. It's good. I like it. I do like Stallone in this movie. If once I've gotten over the fact that he's not punching people in the face, but he does get his moment in the sun at the end, like after he discovers all the corruption, and he does have a line he's not willing to cross, and that's murder, right?
Yeah.
Like, as soon as he finds out that Superboy, who is Rappaport, for those that don't know, goes missing. Keitel says he jumped off the bridge and killed himself, but he didn't. He just went missing. And
well, I mean, it's implied that Keitel pushed him.
Something like that, but he's hiding in secret, right?
Right.
And but the Keitel and his group turns around to try to kill him. I really like the scene by the hot tub when he gets that note from his aunt. Rappaport does. It's like, they're going to try and kill you. And he goes out there, and the first guy comes out, and they're like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" And he knows something's up. He's not sure what's up. And then the second guy comes in, and it's like, "Is everyone gone?" "Yes, just us." Like, the setup to this assassination attempt is pretty good. And, he gets away because he happened to, that note warned him enough to keep a gun on him. And that's when he goes to the sheriff, Stallone, and is like, "Hey, they're trying to kill me." And that's the line that Stallone is like, "Okay, I really can't do that." And he sort of actually gets a backbone, starts doing his own investigation. He initially tries to go to De Niro, who's, the internal affairs guy, who's been kicked off the case, can't do shit, and essentially is like, "Man, I hope he stirs the pot," and he does. And we get that final shootout at the end that's really pretty great.
Yeah,
I like
it's so like early 80s 90s shootout.
Awesome,
because in one
work, like the bloody squibs are really good. Like,
but I love like, and if you're watching on YouTube, you're seeing me do it, but like the slow motion of the rays of the gun coming out in front, and I just like, it's like, oh my god, that's so this era of film. I enjoyed the shootout as well.
Yeah, I did too. And you get to see the bad guys get it. They bring Superboy in, and that's the end of the movie. It is a slow burn, but I think that what's happening during the slow burn era parts are all pertinent. They are developing that this community is pretty tight knit. Like, it's a neighbor. The city is filled with New York Police Department cops that work in New York. They work on Manhattan or wherever in the city.
Yeah.
And then they live here on this little small town that you can see the city over the river, right? You can see all that, but this is where they have their quiet time. And it is a small city right next to a big city, and everybody's cops. It's all tight knit, but I think it does a great job of establishing how close of a community this is. I like all the sequence with him investigating the trash that gets dumped on this woman's yard.
Yeah.
There's a whole subplot about him saving this woman, and that's how his ear gets injured. That didn't amount to that much for me, but I like that where he finds out that there's this affair happening and all this other stuff, and it just kind of tells you the story of the town. So I think that the movie does use its runtime as a way to establish the world, establish the characters, to lead up to an epic shootout at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is a slow burn. You're right. And there's enough recognizable faces, and there's a couple of them, like Ray Liotta's character, that chew the scenery in the scenes that they're in. That it is, and it's only an hour 45, so it's not a long watch at all.
Yeah, and it feels like a slower burn than it is because it takes its time, but when it gets to where it's going, it zips to the end. You know, it races to the finish.
Yeah. So, Jeff, do you recommend this one?
Yeah, I do. I really enjoyed it this watch through. Surprised me. I was not actually looking forward to watching it again because the first 2 times I watched it, I was disappointed. But coming in and watching it for what it is, a sort of slow burn cop drama, I did enjoy it. So I would recommend it.
Yeah. I'm not going to recommend it just simply because I thought there was... I think the expectations for anybody going into this that doesn't know about the film or anything about the film, they would be disappointed in what they get. Not saying it's not a good movie. I'm just saying that they would be disappointed that there's not more from certain characters played by certain actors, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to recommend it. Doesn't mean it's not
interested to see if you came back and watched it again in like 5 years, knowing what it is if you'd like it more.
Yeah, maybe. Expectations do have a lot to do with how you enjoy a film. I am fully behind that. So yeah, maybe. I mean, you had an advantage having recollection of this film previous, and being able to temper the expectations. So maybe.
Yeah.
Jeff, tell them what we're doing next month for the month of June 2025.
All year we've been doing 1 Degree of Separation. So we're going to take a little break. So Mark picked Copland. I'm going to relate Copland to our next movie, but I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to do it at the end of June, because in June we celebrate our anniversary every year. Well, except for the year we did Van Damme, which was the best celebration of all time. But our theme for June is redraft a theme. So we have a list of all the themes we've done, and we can draft from a list of those. The only thing is we can't draft themes that we've drafted before in the past. So Nicolas Cage month, martial arts films, westerns, musicals, Van Damme, titular Marvel actors, movies with musicians, survival horror, obviously draft a theme, I don't think, but erotic thrillers are all off the table because we've drafted those before. So we're going to select...
I do have a question. Have a question. What if I have a movie selected that hasn't been... it's from a theme that we haven't reselected yet, but it happens to fit the theme of one of the ones we have selected
as
before.
Long as it fits the theme that you're drafting it for.
Okay.
That's all I care about. Like if you pick a serial killer movie that also is a Western, as long as it's a serial killer movie, I'm fine with it.
All right, I got it.
And you don't know what Westerns are anyway, so we'll be fine. But we always start off by drafting the themes we'd like, and then we place our movies in those themes. So I think you have a shorter list of movies to work from. So I'd like you to draft your theme first.
All right. For our next week's theme, we're going movies directed and starring the same actor.
All right. That eliminates one of mine. Okay. So let me take that off the list. Okay. Shit. All right. So I'm going
My apologies.
No, it's great. Because I don't know if you'd want to watch what I was going to pick. But So I'm actually going to draft vampires.
Okay.
So let me take notes here. So you took starring and directed, and I took vampires. Okay, so you're up. And if you
All
take
right.
my other one, I'm booked.
All right. So for our third theme, we're going back to the well of Matthew McConaughey.
Okay, good. All right, I can tolerate that. So let me mark that as drafted. And then, where was your directing and starring? Let me mark that off. Directed and starring. Great. Okay. So because you took mine, I'm gonna draft serial killers.
Okay.
Our first ever theme. It's coming back.
That's correct.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
So
interested to see. I have a small amount of hope that you're picking the written and directed movie I'm thinking of, but maybe not.
you said I don't know what westerns are.
Fuck. You don't.
We're watching Unforgiven,
Hell
starring and
yeah.
directed by Clint
Oh
Eastwood.
fuck yeah. Oh my god. I love Unforgiven. Oh. Oh. I haven't seen it in years. Oh.
I haven't either.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna save my bomb drop for later. So I'm going to select my serial killer movie.
Wait, serial killer. Wait,
What?
we're not going in order.
You don't have to.
Oh, so we're doing serial killers the second week of June.
I'm choosing to use my theme of serial killers on the second week of June.
Okay, all right. Vampires
Okay.
will be the fourth week. All right, got it.
Yes. So because I want to save my bomb drop for last.
Okay. I got you.
But I'm selecting a film from 2017 starring Alex Wolff would be like the only name you might know. Ross Lynch, Anne Heche is in it.
Okay.
The late Anne Heche. It is based on the teenage years of serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer. It is the movie My Friend Dahmer.
My Friend Dahmer. Never seen it. Never heard of it.
I've seen it a few times. It's dark.
What the fuck? Okay. So for our third selection in June, it's Matthew McConaughey month. So we're watching the Christopher Nolan film Interstellar.
Didn't we do this already?
Did we? I looked at. I tried to find it, and I
No, maybe we didn't. I did it. Did I do it for another podcast?
I don't think we did Interstellar.
No, I think I did it on another podcast. Okay.
I thought you hadn't seen Interstellar.
No, I've seen it. Do you still want to do that?
Hold on. No, not really. Now that you say you've seen it and recently reviewed it, because I was hoping. I was hoping.
Well, I'll allow you to draft another theme if you like. It just can't be vampires.
Ooh. I don't know.
Is there a movie you want to watch that we can maybe see if we can squeeze into one of these?
Hold on. Maybe.
Watch for the
Maybe,
edit,
hold on.
folks.
Let's see. We are. Let's see. Damn, you just watched that film for your other podcast. All right.
Take it off of green, or put it back to green so McConaughey's back on the board.
McConaughey is back on the board.
Feature, R-rated Christmas movie, pro wrestling movies, a dragon movie, which we've pretty much watched all dragon movies.
I looked at all the dragon movies, and
I think that's a theme that will never get redrafted just because it sucked. That and the romantic Adam, Eve, and Steve that shit horrible.
all right.
Slasher month.
Survival horror is a theme that I wouldn't mind doing again.
Is that on the list here as green? Oh, we did that in March. Or we did that last year or 2 years ago. You got bromances, comedic actors in serious roles, Lord of the Ring actors, over-the-top villains, psychological thrillers, make me like an actor. You want me to tell you some actors I don't like? You can make me watch some shit. Science fiction,
Maybe.
Never on Earth. We fucked that one up pretty good. Movies where actors play themselves. Back to School. Drug movies. Road trip movies. Christina Ricci. Sibling directors. Bromance. Love a good bromance. Alternate timelines and universes.
What if we watch Uncut Gems again?
I'd stab myself. I think that's a unspoken rule of our podcast.
All right. All right. What I'm going to do is I will select the theme of comedic actors in serious roles.
Okay.
And we will be watching from the year 1997.
Oh, he loves the 90s, doesn't he?
I do love the 90s. It runs for 2 hours and 6 minutes. It's directed by Gus Van Sant.
Oh.
And stars
the guy who
Robin
directed
Williams,
yes,
Matt
okay.
Damon, Ben Affleck.
know
We're watching Good Will Hunting.
I've never seen it.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
Yeah. Gus Van Sant went on to direct I think his next film was the Psycho remake, which is awful.
Okay. All right. My apologies to all the listeners and the watchers out there. That took longer than I thought it was going to. But, yeah, Good Will Hunting.
All right. Are you ready for this, my dude?
Yeah, I guess.
Vampires, bitch. Okay. The reason this movie came up is because it was on the short list of movies I was going to connect to next week, to the next 1 degree of separation. But I just couldn't in good faith do it because honestly...
Are we watching the science theater bullshit that you've been trying to get us to watch?
Weird Science? No. And it's not bullshit. It's a fucking phenomenal movie. But I really want to try to fit that in a 1 degree season. It felt like cheating. And also I was thinking I could do Back to School, but they don't really spend any time at school. And so it felt like, again, a cop-out. But no, I was going to connect Robert Patrick to our film, which is a sequel to a film we've seen on this podcast.
All right.
No, it's not I Got the Hookup 3. I wish, but it's not.
Is it Terminator 2?
No. It stars Danny Trejo.
Okay.
It was directed and written by Scott Spiegel and stars Robert
God.
Patrick, Bo Hopkins. We are going to watch...
Is it directed by Robert Rodriguez?
No. From Dusk Till Dawn 2. Texas Blood Money.
Oh,
You
God.
sound excited.
I have never seen it. I have had no desire to see it. From Dusk Till Dawn 2, Texas Blood Money.
It's not going to be good. And get this.
Anytime a film has 3 credited writers, it's always bad.
Get this. At some point, I'm going to try to get us to watch From Dusk Till Dawn 3, The Hangman's Daughter.
It's got Tiffany Thiessen in it. Bruce Campbell.
It's gonna be good, man.
It's not going to be good, but
No, it's not gonna be good, but
oh my God, it's streaming on Pluto TV.
well,
But it's only
yeah.
an hour and 28 minutes. That means with credits, it's like an hour 22.
Bro, it's gonna be a brisk. You're gonna
All right, I seeing the runtime, I'm on board,
considering
fully
that
on board.
We're watching Unforgiven, which is known for being somewhat long, but I love it. It's a great movie, and I'm not mad.
Look at the IMDb rating for Dusk Till Dawn too. It's a
No.
4.2, bro.
That doesn't mean anything to me. You already know that. Some of my favorite movies, the lower the better. So let's run it down. We're going to start next month by watching Unforgiven, written and directed by Clint Eastwood. I've been actually meaning to rewatch this movie, so I'm very, very excited you picked it.
It's only a 2 hour and 10-minute movie. So
I don't know why in my brain it felt like that people said this movie was just long, but it's one of my favorite revenge movies. It's so good. Then we're going to watch for Serial Killers Month, My Friend Dahmer, which, I've seen a couple times, but I know you haven't seen it, and I'd like to discuss it with you. Then comedy actors in serious roles. We're going to watch the legendary Good Will Hunting, a blind spot for me, for sure. And then finally, to wrap up the month, we're watching From Dusk Till Dawn 2. Here's the thing. I'm not 100% sure it's vampires in this. I mean, you'd think so. There's bats on the cover, but I could be wrong. I might have
Dusk Till Dawn 2 is a classic Mark choice for the theme, not knowing if this really actually is a themed vampire film.
I mean,
so I applaud the effort.
I think it's going to have more vampires in it than that one I picked during Vampire Month with the space vampires.
Oh, yeah, but there's titties all in that, so.
You loved that film. One of your favorites, I think.
This is, I don't know why we do this to ourselves every year. It's like we celebrate by watching terrible films.
What? Huh? What?
At least my two films are historically good.
For sure. But and My Friend Dahmer is a good movie. I mean, honestly, Dusk Till Dawn 2 is the only outlier, to be honest. I can see you not liking My Friend Dahmer, but not because it's a campy Dusk Till Dawn 2 style movie.
Right.
I think my problem is that I've got issues from my other podcast, All Things Being Sequel, where I gotta finish these damn series. And by doing this here, I'm taking it off the plate, so I don't have to do it on my other podcast either.
Good. Good.
And
I'm so glad we
prevent
can.
anything.
I'm so glad that we can help each other's podcast.
You're here for me, and I'm here for you. We're gonna make it through this month. It's gonna be a great month. Happy anniversary. What is this? 5 years? What year did we start?
2020, I think.
Is that right? Let's go to
I don't know.
IMDb where they have all of our information.
I'm still scrolling our endless list of episodes on the Spotify.
So we started in May
No,
of
2021.
Well,
Right,
That was
so
just
this is-
the draft episode. So June 3rd
No,
of 2021
yeah.
was our first true episode.
Yeah, so 4 years. This is our four-year anniversary.
Yeah, happy anniversary, Mark.
Happy anniversary to you, Jeff. Thanks for sticking it out with me.
Man,
I don't know what
so
number.
much fun.
I don't know what number episode we're on, but
205. You're
It's-
the one who
it's-
uploads them, so I don't actually see the numbers.
yeah, it's
So-
getting up there. I don't what. So Dread was our. Well, I don't. It doesn't keep. I just have to put an episode number for the season.
Oh, it doesn't show you
It do-
how many episode numbers when you just. I could probably
don't
figure.
know.
Hold up. Oh no, I think I stopped my recording, my video recording. Oh well,
Why?
just because I
Ow.
went to switch apps to go look at the podcast app.
Oh God. The past
All
2
you gotta
weeks,
do is put
your video issues have been an issue.
Listen, man, happy anniversary. Where's the good vibes? Where are the good vibes?
Anyways, if you want some more good vibes, hit the like, follow, or subscribe button.
Ooh.
Especially the subscribe button if you're watching on the YouTube. We apologize that
211
Jeff's picture on 211
211 episodes, not counting the first original draft.
All right.
We
Well,
211 movies, Mark.
yeah. So hit the subscribe button on YouTube so you can see a still photo of Jeff as we finish this episode.
You don't have to put you could put anything you like. You could really just fuck with me and put like Jeffrey Dahmer's face up or some shit.
Oh, that's a good idea. Anyways, hit the if you want to follow the podcast on your other favorite social media platforms, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, here on YouTube, we're on all the things. Give us a like, follow, subscribe. Jeff, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, I've got 2 other podcasts because I'm a maniac. I've got Chronologically, where we go through full filmographies of some of cinema's greatest creators. We're currently working our way through, and we're nearing the end of our Tarantino season. I also have another series called All Things Being Sequel, where we're working on the movies from the series It's Alive. And our next season is actually going to be the Three Ninjas movies because Elliot, my podcast partner, is a maniac.
So, haven't seen those movies since I was a kid.
Oh, it's killing one of our 3 hosts. Like, one of our 3 hosts is losing their minds because of Three Ninjas, and it ain't me.
Well,
It's
yeah.
worth tuning into to hear someone lose their mind.
Jeff, any final words here?
What's your favorite Three Ninjas film?
Is that a question?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be the first one. I don't think I've seen the other ones.
Good answer, man. We'll see you guys next week for Unforgiven.
Well, a bird, bird, bird. But bird's a word. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a word. Well, a bird, bird. But bird's a word. Well, a bird, bird, bird. But bird's a word. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a word.